And we'll move into that. So today, the NBA and the National Players Association reached a agreement, and I'm just going to read the first two paragraphs from the article. Dave, as the NBA tightened coronavirus protocols to try to preserve a season threatening amid positive tests, thinning rosters and game postponements, the league made a dramatic change that most franchises had wanted all along: the closing off of rooms to non-team guests in road hotels. The NBA and National Basketball Players Association on Tuesday reached agreement on several more revisions to policy, including the league further limiting movement of players and staffs on road trips, and the league is no longer allowing players and staff to leave hotels for non-team activities, and it is eliminating visitors to hotel rooms, which one GM had told ESPN had been the Mack truck driving through all of our protocols. Dave, I look at this and I go, my first thought is, isn't this what I was saying, like, not even a week ago, like on Friday, where it's like, don't leave, like, if you're on the road, don't leave the hotel. Like, you're there for team business. Like, it's basically you're on a field trip and the teacher won't let you leave. You stay with your group. What are your thoughts? Because I know you have a rant.
This is the Daniel House rule.
Yeah, it is.
This is the Daniel House. This is 100% the Daniel House. It is named after him. I will key that in now if nobody hasn't taken credit for it already.
We'll make a shirt, Daniel House, the Daniel House protocol.
I mean, basicly, no booty call on the road. That's the girls on the road are a problem.
Dude, the side pieces, man.
Who's coming in? Who's leaving? You're gonna dress them up in your team's fucking hoodie, right? That's what it was. He had her wear a Rockets hoodie to try to sneak her in and out. God, what a genius.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's fucking ridiculous, you know? And not in the way you think. Like, it's ridiculous that they're complaining, and I've heard players already complain about this. Like, we laughed about the whole Steven Adams thing and the bubble.
Dude, fucking like, spot on though.
Bubble, people are asking for therapists because this is something like that they're not used to being restricted on their freedom. But then Steven Adams is like, it's a fucking resort. Yeah. Like, we get up, we go to practice, we get to play basketball games, and we go back to the resort.
You're fucking living a better life than most of the people in America right now.
Of America. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Don't got to worry about losing that rent. You know what I'm saying? Woo, landlord not going down your back.
In the real fucking world right now, they get up from their house, they go to work, and they come right back home because there's nowhere else they can go because there's a fucking... Yeah.
Dave, so that's an essential worker though. What about someone who doesn't have a job? They wait. No,
Ricky.
Essential. What about the ones who wake up, don't have a job to go to, but then go, shit, how am I gonna fucking get this money? Because for some reason my landlord still wants a fucking payment when I can't provide money.
We've been deferring on that for a while.
No, I know it's been a problem for a while, but I'm still gonna bring it up.
Someone who stays up until 7 a.m. who doesn't have a job. Would you like to tell us about that?
See, here's the thing and this is the only two reasons why I'm blessed. One, I have great parents. I have great parents, best parents in the world. Two, what I did was, so I knew how my last job did its paycheck. Basically, over the summer as a teacher, some schools give you a paycheck each and every week. Yep. My school was lazy. What they would do is say, here's your entire summer's paychecks, because everyone in the main office wanted to go on like summer vacations. So I took that, like $4,000, put it in the bank and was like, this is my pot. This is my pot to use, hopefully to get through this time where I won't have a job. Yet again, luckier than some. I realize that. But yeah, you're fucking at even when you're on the road going to Washington to play a game in Washington, you still don't have to worry. Like, you're at a nice hotel. And that's the thing, yet again, Chainsaw brought this up when we were in the watch along. It's the debate of getting paid how much to play a child's game, which I love to bring up, because it's like, if this is your job, because technically it's their job, but it's not really a job. They're just playing a game for money.
They're an entertainer.
Yeah.
They're a entertainer.
If this is your job, that's what your focus should be on. So, okay, we're going to Washington for this game. My mindset is on, all right, what team activities do I have to do? When are practices? Where's the game? That's all your mind should be focused on. And I know there's some people that are like, oh, they're real humans. Well, your job should be focused on winning, not about what's going on. Like, oh man, what biddy am I going to meet when I'm in Washington? That should be on your mind.
I don't disagree. I think the whole fact that people complain about the fact they can't go out, when they get home is ridiculous. The fact they can't go out on the road when they're like you said, if you're in Miami, well, guess what? Florida restrictions are non-existent. So like there are players who had been going to clubs. Yeah. There are people who on those trips are going out, and that has to stop. And it's like, where do you think that all this sickness is coming from, people? Like, what is going on in your world where this is a...
Dave's like, I can't even fucking explain it.
We are 10 months deep into this fucking shit in America, and this is still a question mark to some people. And that's what boggles my mind. And
I'm an American. I'm a patriot. You can't take away my freedoms, Dave.
And it's like they're just being introduced to this for the first time. Yeah. They're like, wait, we can't do what we want to do? Hang on, motherfucker. You're getting paid millions of dollars to play a fucking game that matters to no one.
Jake, you can't take away my freedoms. This is America.
That's exactly what this is.
It's the Stan Marsh. Oh, I thought this was America. Oh, this was America.
If you don't want to go from hotel to hotel, or from hotel to arena to hotel, sorry, maybe sit out the season. Like, this situation where I think Adam Silver needs to come down harder on these guys. Yep. And it won't make him popular. I saw an article out there about Adam Silver's popularity amongst players and GMs versus David Stern's. Yeah. David Stern came down very hard, and a lot of the stuff out there about him was like, early on, it seemed like it carried maybe a racial undertone, that he had some issues. But like over time, David Stern, I think, tried to present he always tried to prop up the better image of the NBA and tried to present a business forward kind of thing. Adam Silver is very much a power to the players kind of a I don't even know. Like he's just
more of a player. He's a player commish.
Yeah, he's a player's first commissioner, and I think that's great. But at the same time, he can't be walked over by everyone. Like when something like this is going on. Like I think he needs to set a better. And I get that like these are new restrictions being put in place for them. It's common fucking sense, and under most states, that would be the rules. Like that's the thing. The NBA is always like, well, it depends on what city I'm in this week. What can I do? Like back when weed wasn't legal in most places, every time people go to Denver, there were always the jokes about that shit. Like
Denver, like the NFL, Seattle was a big one.
Yeah. Remember when D'Lo got caught on a plane with like a bunch of weed? Like that was hilarious. Yeah. Because like it was legal where I was going from, but not where I'm going to. Whatever, happens. Different rules, different places. But in the U.S., like right now with COVID, the fact that they're unhappy about it, sure, you can be unhappy. But if I have to hear a millionaire complain about having to go from hotel to arena to hotel, I'm going to fucking like...
Dave, ready? I got it. Because I got my Christmas money right here. Oh, man, let me wipe my tears, Dave. Oh, I got to wipe my tears. All this money.
If you don't want it, just chill for the season. Vaccines are literally coming this year. What is the fucking hurry?
Yeah. Oh, I almost poked my eye out with a corner of those bills.
Live a responsible lifestyle. Just sit out the season. There's literally no detriment. I don't get it, and I have no sympathy for players at this point.
The way, and I'm gonna throw this out because this popped in. That's why I need a drink, Ricky. That's why you're like, oh, thank you. Yet again, no. I didn't know it was gonna go into this. I thought it would be like a we'll mention it. Their new protocols, but you're right. There's a lot to bitch about here.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just. I'm going to throw this out, and this goes back to a point I made on Friday, and then I made on Monday yesterday, because, like Soapy said, it feels like fucking Wednesday today for some reason.
It does kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. But, like, if I'm Adam Silver, this is how I maybe lay down the law. It's like, all right, this is how it works. You get, like, if you want to go extra lenient, you get 2 free strikes of, like, the first one is a slap on the wrist. The second one's a fine. The third one, you're out for the year. You're suspended for the year. Deal with it. Or if you want to go extra harsh, first one's a fine. Second one, you're suspended. Because eventually the point has to be there to where it's like, if you're not going to do what needs to be done, because Pat McAfee takes all of us.
Takes all of us.
If you're not going to do what needs to be done, well, guess what? You basically get punished. You don't play this game. And basically at that point, like the only thing legality that would go into it is at that point, it's are you paying them to just sit at home? Or is it you got suspended, you're losing out on game checks because you're an idiot?
I prefer that one.
I prefer that one too. But yet again, legality, can they do that?
No, it endangering your teammates. I'm sure there's some clause around that because if you are caught going out at, say you go to a nightclub, say you pull a James fucking Harden, but you're not James Harden, so you don't have the fucking cachet to just be like, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm your whole fucking team. I think they go into the you're now in the protocol. You will lose game checks until you pass 5 days and test negative every day. Like that
actually works. The first time they get fined and go on the protocol, that's kind of like a slap in the wrist. And then it's like if they do it again, well, we told you once. Exactly. Obviously, you're not getting the message. You're out for the year.
Yeah.
Deal with it. It's your fault, not ours.
There has to be some level of ownership amongst this. And that's the frustrating part. As a fan of the NBA for, literally my entire life, I think David Stern needs to try to step up and enforce better rules around this because it's clear that in America, it's not going to happen. But you have a small group of under 500 people that you can work with, and you can set standards that you don't have to take the easy way out. You don't have to just say, well, if everybody else is okay with it, we're okay with it too. No, do what's best for the brand. Do what's best for the NBA.
For the brand, Dave. For the brand.
I know the brand. It literally was the first thing to come to my head. But I want to say Shield, but I know the Shield is the NFL.
JD brings up a good point. I want to clarify. We're not talking about players that get COVID. We're talking about breaking quarantine. Yeah. Because like JD said, not everyone who gets COVID breaks protocol.
I agree.
However, if you get COVID and then through the tracing it's found out, well, you got COVID because you're a fucking idiot because you were the one that broke quarantine, then that's a different story.
No, but I don't find people for getting sick.
But if you got sick because you broke quarantine, that is different than I got sick because my dumbass teammate broke quarantine. Basically, you have to break quarantine to get punished. That's the crux of it.
I'm saying I understand getting sick, from being a teammate of an idiot versus being the idiot yourself.
Yeah.
Is different in yes, I agree with that, but I'm not punishing them. I'm not punishing anyone for getting sick. I'm punishing people for breaking the rules that we're going to set. The need to be you can't go out and risk your teammates' health because you feel like going out on a night and getting it in.
It's not even the fucking we're talking about the players. What about the fucking the staffers, the people that are still working at the stadiums, even though that fans aren't there?
Some fans are in stadiums, Ricky.
Yeah, and so I forgot about that. Chainsaw brought that up, and I fucking was like, oh yeah, Texas and fucking Florida are a thing. I guess. Which apparently, Dave Soapy told me this. Fun fact before we move on into Wet Boys. Yeah. Alabama man has trumped Florida man. You want to hear why?
How is that possible?
He got attacked by a squirrel that he put on a leash and trained. His attack squirrel, he called it.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he had an attack squirrel.
But in Florida, they have alligators, so I don't think sorry, Bama, that's some weak ass shit. Come on,
it sounded better at fucking 5 a.m. A lot of things sound better at 5 a.m.
I'm sure they
Ted Mosby, if it's after 2 a.m., just go to bed. Just go to bed if it's after 2 a.m. Bobo with the 3. Let's go.